10 years. Steinway is all black. There's no color typically associated with it, but we obviously have something to offer. Thank you for coming. Why did C. Melchers start this business? We are very happy to be associated with a brand like this. We are typically in the watch business, and from the watch business we know that Asians, and Singaporeans in particular, have a very, very high appreciation for craftsmanship, for tradition, for the attention to detail, and for perfection. And we know, we have learned here that Asians and Singaporeans in particular are willing and prepared to pay a premium for what is a premium product. But it has to be a premium product, and they're very educated about that, and they really study the product and they go in depth and to understand why is one product more valuable than the other. And if they find out why, they are really willing and prepared to pay a lot of money. Now, we know that from the watch business, and I saw that actually the piano offers a very comparable platform. The tradition of piano making, 150 years old, 160 years old, and the history is totally associated with the history of Steinway. So when Steinway started, piano making started. That can really be said like this. And up until today, when we talk about the core and the essence of piano making, everybody talks about Steinway. And obviously that is a very strong point. For me, also very fascinating when I started to look at this business was the power of this brand. And I mean, you all know brands. And if I put you together here and I ask you what is the most famous or prestigious car brand, probably we will get 3 or 4 names. If I ask you what is the most famous and prestigious watch brand, I know what I would prefer, but I'm already associated with 3 brands, but it would be maybe 3 or 4 brands. If I ask you for the most well-known hotel brands, airline, bank, private service, whatever you have around, 2, 3, 4 names would pop up in that category. If I ask you whether you are from the piano industry or not, what is the most famous piano brand? I bet 8 out of 9 people would say Steinway, and that 9th people would probably be on the payroll of one of the 2 other Japanese brands and would be paid to say the other name. So it is really something that fascinated me, and where I really felt that is something that we have to bring to Singapore and that we really have to present in an appropriate way in Singapore. And that's where we started, how can we make a difference? Of course, retail presentation is what you do. We decided a year ago that we want to be on Orchard Road. We decided that we want to be facing Orchard Road. And we decided that we want to have a Steinway-only gallery. So today we are here. I think it's the turnaround. We are facing Orchard Road. We are on Orchard Road. We are associated with Palais Renaissance, which has a very, very good reputation. We all know that Orchard Road is moving a little bit downwards, but Palais has kind of retained its own place and its own position as a luxury shopping center. And I also must say I admire CDL for having given us that space, because when they did it, many people were asking, like, why do you allow a piano shop to come in? And why did they say it? Because they associated piano shops with what piano shops always used to be. Many pianos, many brands, closed, locked, don't touch, don't play, don't enter, don't actually, why do we actually go into the shop, 3rd floor, somehow dark, all black, no interaction. And we want this gallery to be a platform. We want it to be a meeting place, because the development of arts and the development of culture is something that we live on, but also something that we support as a company as a whole, which you also know from our other brands and our exposure. As a very small indication of that, and it's only a starting point, when we work with Lila's team, the discussion of door gift always comes in. It seems to be very important. That we have a good door gift. We thought, and then someone said, like, look, we cannot find an appropriate door gift because we can't give away a piano, and it's not really something you put into a bag. And if I give you some some notes or some plays things, or it's also not appropriate. So I said, look, what we will do is we will not give a door gift, but we will donate a certain amount of money to the Singapore Symphonic Orchestra, an equivalent amount of what we would have provided for door gifts for our range of events. And SSO was appreciative of it, and what they said, okay, if you guys do that, we invite your journalists to a concert of your choice for Steinway artists. So in our little goodie bag, you will find a little voucher. There are 3 concerts coming up where Steinway artists are playing at the SSO, and you can redeem that if you want to for a ticket. If you're not interested in music, then consider your personal contribution to the SSO. But this is what we want to do. If you look around here at the gallery, you see a lot of posters of artists, local and international alike, who have in the last 3 months already had a small concert, a small recital here. We want to be open. We want it to be a place where people can meet artists and where piano players can interact with people who love the piano and who love the music. That is important for us. Lastly, any business lives off a good team. Melchers, before we started, and I personally did it, we knew nothing about pianos. Absolutely no association with music business, but we know how to do business. I was then lucky enough to be introduced to Leng Chua. Leng Chua is Singaporean, studied piano to become a concert piano player in the US, decided that he can make even more money selling Steinway pianos, and was associated with for over 20 years with Steinway in the US, and is now returning. So he's a returning talent, which is a big term in Singapore now. And he is a manager, general manager. Then we were introduced and met Celine. Celine is also Singaporean, is also a very good piano player, but has been very savvy in setting up other service businesses. So she knows the luxury arena, she knows how to set up a business, but has always been in very close touch with the piano playing world, with young artists and with performing artists in Singapore, and this is our connection here. We have employed Gerald, who is our sales executive, so is he over there, who has been with a different brand before, and brings with him a sales experience. And we have Hokseng, who's our technician, and Hokseng, because the technical support is very important. To go back, the typical piano dealer would be technical driven, and we cannot just say we sell the pianos and we don't care. Technical support and service is very relevant, and Hokseng is bringing that into our organization, and that is a business, of course, that we also expect to grow. With that, I would like to welcome 2 people. First, Mr. Husmann, Vice President, Director, Big Boss, the man at Steinway. I'm not going to tell you how long he has been with Steinway. Many, many years. We say in our company when something is very old, since 1806, which is when our company started, so if something is very old, so for him it would be probably since 1856. He will represent Steinway, and I'm also very happy to welcome Professor Caio Pagano, who will be introduced later, and who will give you a bit of an introduction of what can be done with the instrument. I thank you both for having come. Professor Pagano from Brazil through the US, and Mr. Husmann from Hamburg. Steinway is an American name, but we say it's a German brand. Mr. Husmann will give you a little bit more of an introduction to that. We make it fast and furious and hopefully very interacting and interesting. After that, we want to answer some questions to you if you have any. Other than that, enjoy a little bit of the music, walk around, have a champagne, and then we continue with our normal day work.